All right, guys. So that last brisket I did, I really needed to do better. I wasn't very happy with that last brisket. It was the first time I had wrapped one in a long time. A lot longer smoke than I normally like to do. I just tried something different, and I didn't really care for it. It was okay. It was nice and tender. It wasn't really juicy. It wasn't dried out, but yeah, it just wasn't to my specs. So today I did another one, and I didn't really film any of it, uh, but the process was pretty simple. I set it in the smoker at 9 o'clock this morning, and then pulled it off. I think it was like 5 or 5. I think it was 5:30. Um, and I just the way this thing looks is so much better. Um, it was what that what do we say that was 9 hours. I had it on for 9 hours, um, at 270 for 9 hours, maybe 280. um, when I got home from some squirrel hunting, stuck the probe in there, and it read 190 degrees internal temp on the fat side of it, thicker side of it. Again, it was another small brisket. This one was 12 pounds. The other one was 10 pounds. So I'm going to cut it open and we'll see how it goes. The seasoning I used, where is that at? Here it is. Not really trying to promote Meat Church, but I do love Meat Church. And this is the seasoning I used, Holy Voodoo. um, I covered every inch of it with this. Uh, it tastes good. For some reason, I was thinking it was sweet. It's not sweet. It's got a little bit of heat to it. It's got a nice salty kind of heat to it. It's really good. I would recommend getting this. Again, no affiliation. This is just what I used today. But now we're going to get into the brisket. Again, this was on for 9 hours. And it's been resting for a little over 2 hours now. I'll grab a knife here. Doesn't matter what size. It's not a huge brisket, so I'm just going to cut it right down the center. That bark on here is really crispy. There's like no effort to cut this at all. I'm just being slow because I don't want to mash it down and pull it into like a pulled beef. Yeah, I'm excited. Oh man. Need a sharper knife. All right, so this is what we got. That is extremely juicy. It's been, like I said, it's been resting for a while. I mean, yeah. You want to buy the brisket dough? Give me a minute. Let me cut some stuff up. Do some presentation stuff. Brooklyn's waiting for her piece. She knows it's coming. All right. What did I do with that knife now? God dang it, what did I do with that knife? Oh. Plain view, that's why I didn't see it. All right, I'm gonna cut around 1/4 inch. Maybe a little bit thicker. Oh my God, it's just like falling apart. That's some pretty droopy brisket. cut some off of it. Do the pull apart thing. Oh, nothing to it. Nothing to it. All right, now the taste test. The brisket the other day, it lacked some flavor. I was trying just, salt and pepper because I do the carnivore diet. Pepper isn't really recommended, but on the carnivore diet, you can pretty much do whatever you want just as long as you stick to meat. But this time I used that Voodoo, and it's got a whole lot more seasoning in it. Man, that's some damn good stuff right there. Super tender. Not dry whatsoever. No, I went in, oh man. I only let it sit for an hour or two with the seasoning on it, maybe 3. But the seasoning really soaked into it pretty well, just for 2 or 3 hours. But in no way, shape, or form this is this dry at all. Got a nice little smoke ring on it. I really do love this carnivore way of eating. This is gonna be dinner for me for like, I don't know, 4 days maybe. Super juicy. I didn't trim a whole lot of fat because again, I bought another lean brisket. I did trim off a little bit, and I'm making tallow out there on the smoker right now. Oh, Jackson's here now. Oh my God, that is so good. This might actually be one of the better briskets that I've ever done. I didn't wrap it this time. I just left it for 9 hours, uncovered. Man, that is really good. That Voodoo seasoning really hits the spot. Even the flatter side, where there's a little less fat, it's still juicy as all get out. I'll go ahead and wash my hands. But I'll cut some off of this side too, where there's less fat on the brisket. The knife just falls, like slides right through the brisket. It would do it better if it was a sharper knife. I'm gonna go doing my best to get a 1/4 inch here. All right, so this is gonna be like the tail end of a brisket, or the edge of a brisket that would be the driest. Okay. I cut a nice little slab out of here, and I tried to pull it out, and it did not come all the way out. This just fell right out, or came out with it. I mean, that's how tender this is. This is, you see that? Did you see that? God dang. That's a good goddamn brisket. Oh man. Ooh, that's a good brisket, baby. She's in there on her phone. Whatever, man. Make good food all the time. That's so good. Oh, shit. Sneak attack.
Hey.
Oh. Becky doesn't like the fatty stuff. So, this is my dessert. This is dessert for me. This is candy. You guys probably didn't want to watch me eat that. But this is a good goddamn brisket. So much better than that last one I did. Wow. Rinse my hands off. I'll do a little recap. All right, so recap. I seasoned it up with this right here. The Holy Voodoo from Meat Church. I actually got this in Colorado. Went to visit my cousin out there, and they had a bunch of this on the shelf. And I was like, hey, Meat Church. So I tried it out. It was good. But for some reason, since I tried it, I thought it was like sweet. And Becky kept telling me, no, it's not sweet. So she's like, why don't you use that? So I used it. And I'm really glad that I did, because this is I'm gonna have to order some of this online. No affiliation. It's just what I like. Very, very good. I want to use this again. So I seasoned it, and I think it sat seasoned, totally covered with this for two hours. It's a pretty good guesstimate, about 2 hours. And then I let it really soaked in there pretty good. Tastes like, I mean, I tasted that all through the meat. 2 hours was enough. Yeah, that's good stuff. Sorry, I'm gonna put it down. So I let it sit for 2 hours. Had the smoker up. I got a pellet smoker, Pit Boss, old school style, you know, but it's one of the vertical ones. Had it in there for 9 hours at, I think it was like 280. I didn't want to get too hot. I didn't want to go too low. So I kept it at 280. And I was gone out doing some squirrel hunting. When I came back around 5:30-ish, checked the temp, and it was at 190. And I'm like, okay, that's good enough. When I put in the probe, it like just slid in. It slid in. There was no hesitation. I was like, this thing's probably done. So I decided that 190 was a good temp to take it off. I definitely did not want to dry it out, because the last brisket I had, it wasn't dry, but it wasn't juicy. It was lacking. So I had to redeem myself, and that's why I did this. This is so much better than that one. You saw the floppy test. I even pulled a piece off of the drier side. It's the thinner side, the flat side of it, which usually comes out a little bit drier. I tried to pull, everything cut. It was all the way cut. And I tried to pull a little piece out, and only half of it came out. The rest of it was too heavy to really hold on. So it was definitely juicy, definitely tender. This is one of my favorite briskets. I haven't felt this good about a brisket in a long time. Holy crap. It's a good one. But, yeah. So, after the 9 hours, I didn't cover it or anything. I just put it on this cutting board. I just put it on this cutting board. Just left it sit out. Didn't do anything special with it. It just sat there for maybe 3 hours. I think it was between 2 and 3 hours. And decided to go ahead and cut it up. My brother-in-law told me that I needed to send him the floppy test. So I'm gonna send him the floppy test. You saw it on here. I mean, it was pretty much clapping cheeks. So yeah, very happy with this brisket. Very happy with this brisket. I have redeemed myself. This is like fall apart, almost pulled pork tenderness. Everything is so juicy on here. Since the dogs have been waiting so patiently, I'm gonna go ahead and cut some up for them too. Give Jackson the fattiest piece because he's the oldest. I don't know. Brooklyn might be older. Anyway, here you go, Jackson. Here you go, Royal. I'm gonna give a big old piece to Brooklyn. Oh, this is like fatty. This got everything in it right here. Brooklyn's gonna love that. Hopefully she doesn't love putting it on our floor later. What are you doing? You're ruining my whole video.
I'm trying to go out here.
All right, well, K9 approved for sure. Definitely me approved. Holy crap, this is really good. This is one of my best briskets in a long time. I will never wrap a brisket again. 9 hours at 280. That's good, man. That's money. I wish I would have like filmed some of the smoker stuff, but I didn't know how it was going to turn out because I feel like the last one was such a failure. Kind of self-conscious about it. But this one turned out like, oh my God, good. But that's the end of the video. Appreciate you watching. We'll get one last picture of this, or one last video of what we got going on here. Oh, good stuff. This is going to be the tastiest stuff. This is the end here. It's got the crispy on all three sides. Whew. Yeah. Yeah, that's dinner for like 4 or 5 days. As good as it is, it's probably going to be 3. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.